This place is absolutely gorgeous, and what a beautiful day for it as well. Yes, thank you for joining us here on the channel. Today we're going to be taking you into gorgeous Cleveleys, just down the road from Blackpool. But before we do, make sure you are subscribed to the channel by hitting that subscribe button, and why not hit the notification button as well, so you know when our videos come out. Anytime you've enjoyed this video, do give it a like, just so I know that you've enjoyed these types of videos. And why not join us on Friday nights from 7 o'clock, where we will be live on the Blackpool coast with a live Q&A and virtual tour. So yes, let's go. Let's take you down to Cleveleys, but just to explain where we actually are, we're not actually in Cleveleys just yet, even though the sign is just saying it. We're actually on an area called Anchorsholme. Anchorsholme is actually part of Blackpool. So this beach here that you see here is actually Blackpool Beach, and the border is literally here from Blackpool to what is called the Wire. In fact, there's a road just over there that has one side of the road is the Wire Council, which is Cleveleys, and the other side is Blackpool Council, just over there. So this is the border, and Cleveleys, well, the Blackpool border comes right up to Cleveleys itself, which is not that far away. Also, Blackpool is some distance away. Blackpool is right over there. I'm not too sure if you see the tower, but the drone shot that you're seeing now is showing you exactly where the tower is, and in the distance you'll be able to see Wales just right in the far distance. I'm not too sure if it's going to pick that up. It's quite clear today. And then if we just look towards the west, which is looking out to the sea, you can see the wind farms. Now right now is the direction of where Isle of Man is. Isle of Man is just actually behind those wind turbines. From the tower you can see the hills of Isle of Man on a clear day. And then just a bit further north is South Lakes. Very, very clear today, as you can see right in the distance. Hopefully that does pick that up. But yeah, literally Blackpool ends here. So I'm still in Blackpool, and we're going to walk into Cleveleys. There we go. Straight from the other side. This is actually called Cleveleys Jubilee Beach. So a bit of information on here, obviously the flags and what you can take on the beach. And you can bring dogs, but you can't bring dogs onto the beach in the summer season, but you can take them a little bit further as you go towards Rossall. Rossall is a beautiful area as you head towards Fleetwood, which is north of here, which we might take you on a journey in one of our videos coming up soon. And yes, you do get to see seals around here as well, right out in the sea. Well, we wouldn't see it now, but you could definitely see him if you was out there. So one of the first things you see is this, which is one of the big sculptures here, which is where all the shipwrecks are named, all the way from, in fact if I show you on the side, from 1874 all the way to 2008. It's got a list of every single one on here, including the date. So a lot of information on there, and that has been into here. The most recent one that I remember is the river dance, which you see in here, which was in 2008, and there was one straight after that called Coco. In fact, you can still see the shipwreck. You won't be able to see it now, the tide's actually come in. In fact, oh, I don't think I can see it. It's literally over there. It's a little bit is poking out of the sea. The tide is starting to come in, but when the tide is out you can see the shipwreck of Riverdance, which was now 12 years ago, pretty close. I remember that quite well. It actually turned into a bit of a tourist attraction at the time. Let's take you down the beach. So let me show you the beach that Cleveleys has here. It's quite rocky as you go on down the stairs here. However, you've got quite big sandbanks here. The tide is on its way in. You can see it's filtering across here, and as you can see right out there where people actually are, the chances of them getting cut off are very high. As you can see it coming in very quickly over there, another sandbank right in the distance with people on them. But that stretches all the way over there, and they're quite deep. I don't know if you can, we'll pick it up on the camera, but like even here, the sandbanks are really low and the banks itself are quite high. Very easy to get stuck on these beaches. It's quite a notorious area for it. If you go more north, as you head towards Morecambe Bay, the tide goes in sideways over Morecambe, and they have a lot of banks there, and that's where people have been in trouble in the past. So it's always one to bear in mind if you come into these beaches. Just be conscious of where you are in the tides, because if you keep walking across here, you know, you can walk across the water, but there's some depth there as well, so one to bear in mind. But yeah, nice little beach. You'll see a bit more as we go towards Jubilee Gardens. That's where we're heading to as well, and then we'll head back. There is a bit of activity down there, and then the town centre is actually just here. We'll take you down there very shortly, but this is a great promenade on here as well. Loads of little sculptures, seating areas. I'll try and show you some seating areas. There's like a shell kind of one there, some seagulls. We see enough seagulls here. They do congregate here. They're flying around now. Another thing I like about this beach is the wave on it. So it's like Blackpool's, but this is a lot more wavy. As you can see, it comes in and then out, and it does that for a few times, like 4 times it does that. All the way down there. This is the main area of Cleveleys. Like I say, it's just over there, and you might just see in the background, and I will show you this, there's a little fair there, little kids fair called Kiddies Corner. It did used to be just over here actually, but then when they redeveloped the promenade, that got moved over there, so it got kept and saved. It's not open at the moment. I don't even think it's fully set up, but we'll take you there very shortly as we head down this way. Another thing I like about the prom is all the seating areas they've got as well. I love this. It's like a table. There's quite a few of these. The other ones people have actually sat up, which is quite good. There's a bit of the fair there. But they've got loads of these as you walk down here as well. Again, another place you see a lot of cyclists. We've seen a lot already. It's part of the cycle route to the Wyre Estuary, which is somewhat way down there. It's a good few miles away through Russell and then into Fleetwood. The shoreline is completely straight all the way down until it gets to the point where Fleetwood meets Russell and starts curving round. As you can see here, the sand, the sea coming in rather quick here. As you can see, it's cut off those points we showed you before, and that point there, that big sandbank, is now getting shorter, and you can actually see people having to go through the water to get to where they want to be. So yeah, take absolute care. You can see much clearer now, right in the far distance, Barrow and Furness, or South Lakes. You can see the Lake District very well. From my eyesight, you can actually see the wind farms on the hills, and in the winter you don't get to see it as clear as this, because it's in the summer you get a lot more clear air and visuals here, but you do see the snow on the hills in the winter as well. You get a better view from Morecambe Bay itself in Morecambe, of the hills there, and it also tells you in Morecambe as well what hills are where and what they're called, just down there. It's an absolutely gorgeous day here. It's really warm. The sun is actually hiding behind those clouds, which is rather annoying. They have all these sort of sculptures on here, a massive oar on here as well. A lot of history of Cleveleys. Another little hut here, holds a lot of seating. It might remind you a bit of South Beach actually. Nice little shade. It holds a lot of capacity for seating. I'm surprised no one's actually sat in there, to be quite honest with you. So if you might be able to see in the distance there is a giant shell on the beach, as you can see right over there. But also, just on the beach here, there's also something else. Yes, here we have a giant ogre on the beach here. But the tide does come in, especially high tide, it covers the whole lot, but on a low tide, whilst the tide's in, you can see its head. It can be a bit daunting to see that if you're walking down the prom or down the beach and you've never seen it before. But over here is a giant shell which marks where Jubilee Gardens is. Just on the other side, we'll head over there. So one of the amazing things you can see on here is this shell, and at this time of year you can get an absolute fantastic sunset shot of it. It is hollow, you can go into it technically, and you'll also, as we get a bit closer, you'll see the markings of where the tide usually reaches. There we have, you can see there where the tide tends to go to. You can see how it's probably, tide has been higher before as it goes up and over. See if you've got seashells and a bit of wording on the inside as well, but you say you can get a brilliant sunset shot as it does drop right down there as well. Installed in 2013, so it's up there. It did used to be covered more with sand. Obviously the sea has moved all that, you know, from the other side. So like I say, where the shell is Jubilee Gardens, which is just over there. We'll just have a quick look over there in a moment. We do have a little washing bit if you've got sandy toes, or you just want a quick wash before you go home. They also have a ice cream stall here, and a cafe, as you can see as we head this way, which are open. They're doing takeaway only at the moment. They also have toilets, which are 30p, same as Blackpool really, and lots of information if you need any. Pretty much the same one as the other side. Seaside Awards all the way through. You can see why. Lovely beach. Obviously not working anymore either. So Cleveleys doesn't actually stretch much further than the road you're seeing here. It goes a little bit further, the road curves to the right, and then a road which is a residential road keeps going. And then just beyond there is the start of Rossall, which is a part of Fleetwood. So Cleveleys doesn't stretch very far at all. Rossall's just had their beach redeveloped, which I've not seen yet, so we'll take a look at that in the next week or so. We'll take you all along as well. We'll check that out. A notorious venue here, which is called The Venue. A lot of people in Cleveleys do recognise this as quite a nice place to go to. Have their own restaurant. As you see, it's actually open as well, which is good to see. And if you're struggling for car parking, there is plenty of car parking here. You can do off-street parking. There is off-street parking available down the side roads as well if you really need to. And then obviously Cleveleys Centre also has car parking as well, for if you want to venture into Cleveleys itself, which we're going to head that way. This is the big garden area, so this is like a picnic area. It's just all fields, and there is a play area just over to the side. And then there's a sign on the side. So this gardens has been here since 1937, so very old, although this isn't. But I think this is the original tablet, in fact, as you can tell with the age of it, and it does actually say this tablet. You know, if you know the answer to that, do let us know. It might not be that, but it does look quite old. But yeah, lovely field here. You can see there's a few people around taking advantage of that, and like I said, there is a playground playgrounds are back open now, which is great. I'm surprised there's no one on this. But again, it's probably an area people don't venture to because this is the north side of Cleveleys, not an area people head to. So hopefully this is helping few people spot and see these things. And now you know there's a playground up here. The football and basketball just there as well, and there's actually a skate park here as well, so obviously a lot more people here with your scooters, skateboards, BMXs, all on this side. So this is Jubilee Park here. They do have their own view, like I did show you just before, but here is it in its all its beauty. Blackpool does have its own Odeon, but if it's a view cinema you're after, they do have one. They have car parking around the back. And next to that, JD Gyms. Hasn't been here long, JD Gyms. Used to be an ice rink. I think it opened as an ice rink many years ago, and I'm talking about 10 years ago when that opened. It was an amazing ice rink, and then that closed down. And then it turned into a soft play, like an inflatable soft play. But again, it didn't get a lot of traction. So they ended up closing down a few years ago. The unit was left empty for some time, and JD Gyms have taken over. And then a little Pizza Hut unit just to the side here. You wouldn't even know this is here. I know they've got the big notorious Pizza Hut arrow, which you could probably see, but if you wasn't venturing out here, you probably would miss that. So a lot of people don't know that's here. So if you remember me saying, they do have a little fun fair on here. It isn't actually open, unfortunately. It doesn't look like it's going to be opening anytime soon either. It has been operating for many years, and some of the rides are from years ago. Like I say, it's called Kiddie's Corner, which used to be on the corner of the where the roundabout is. But no, it's not open. They have little prizes and stuff and mini wheels. Unfortunately, it's not been operating recently. I don't think they plan on doing it anytime soon either. And for those who know the channel, we do fun fairs as well. It's not actually a fair we go to film, just because it's full of kids and yeah, one missing here. Used to be a ride there by the looks of it too. Real shame really, because you know, I think that would have been quite busy today. There you go, Silcock's Kiddie Corner. So the Blackpool tram line that you know from Blackpool comes all the way up here, goes all the way to Fleetwood as it passes right through here. And there's the tram stops just over there, right next to the town centre, that we're going to take you down there towards the Promenade. There is a few things up this way as well. There's a KFC, Subway, there's a Wetherspoons just up there called the Jolly Tars, just right up there. Mr Nitro's, a really nice little ice cream shop there. Different smoothies and stuff there as well, and a few little other things. Local businesses is here. Cash machine points, or free ones like NatWest and HSBC are up here as well too, and also a few bus stops up here. So you can get the bus from Blackpool, you can get the tram, and you can also obviously drive here as well. We're going to take you from this end of the town centre. We're going to go walk right down the middle of the town centre, showing you exactly what shops are here and all the little things on the way. Nice little memorial section here for there, been recently installed. Yeah, you got quite a few local businesses down here as well. Meat market, it's closed but it's reopening soon. A few little charity shops as well. Santander, you got M&S food hall there too. Not forgetting the other side, a few more banks there. We've got Poundland, recently opened I think a couple of years ago. Nevertheless, it's still here. Quite a big one too. Just bear in mind, the walkways on the left side are really narrow and quite wide on here. Now Cleveleys could get very busy, so if social distancing is in place like it is today, please be very mindful of that, just so you're minding everyone out, because I walked down here and very little social distancing was going on, which is really frustrating. but we do our best as well. Hayes Travel there. There is a Wilko here, just down here, so it's just a bit off street. It's just there, it's quite a big one actually. It's the only Wilko around here now. The one in Blackpool town centre closed, but we should be back soon in a few years time when they build up the building for it. That went because they're demolishing it for a tram station. We've got here Herons here, one of my favourite shops actually. Pound Bakery, a few other little things as well. More charity shops onto our right hand side as well. And then we get a few more bigger shops down here. Big Costa Coffee here as well. Home Bargains, Iceland. Bit of a cue to getting Home Bargains there. Now there is a couple of amusements here. One of them is this. Now it's an 18 area. It's not a casino. It's actually an adult gambling centre or adult gaming centre, which you can go in there, but it's not for kids. But they do have amusements here. We'll show you them very shortly. Got a Boots there as well, and a little new look. They do have a new look, but it is quite small. But you know, to some people that doesn't matter. Size does not matter. Halifax, another bank there if you need one. Like I said, quite a few local businesses are down here as well, such as Fleetwood Produce. Tesco, you did used to be here. Tesco's gone now. It's now in Iceland, for anyone that was wondering. Still got a W.H. Smith, that's still here. That's been here years, that. As long as I can remember. Phone shop, Superdrug. They do have a card factory and the works here. Today's Sunday, by the way, so parking, you can actually park on here on a Sunday. Monday to Saturday, it's an hour. Oh, sorry, yeah, an hour. And all these side streets here are also an hour parking as well, but on a Sunday it's you can park all day, so there's no restrictions here in Cleveleys on a Sunday. With weather like this is why it's so busy. Argos here, but they're closed at the moment. The nearest one there is Blackpool, which is inside the Sainsbury's, M&Co, and then a few more shops down here. Now down this road is the entrance to B&M's. It's just there on the left. So just down there. The car park's down there as well. That's where the car park is, the main one. But as you go in here, the shops do end. You got your little souvenir shops, little charity shop again, and then you've got your fish and chip shops down here. You can definitely smell these on the way down. The notorious Cleveleys Kitchen is just down here as well. There it is. Very well known in this area, and they do have a few other shops as well. Cafe Renoir, they also do fish and chips. You've got a family licensed restaurant there as well. Very busy. Everyone's getting out and about, which is great to see. Getting social distancing. And I mentioned about amusements. Here's one of the amusements here. It's called Treasure Island, which is just there. Just through those doors there. So it's a family entertainment centre there. Lots going on in there. They're abiding by social distancing. They have removed some fruit machines from in there, and stuff to accommodate for families. And then, like I say, there is another arcade here called Olympia. Now that is also a family arcade, again removed or made way for different things. They've got a one-way in system and one-way out system as well, so if you want to go in there, it's through that black section there, just down the way there. And they've got ice cream shop there too. This is like where we started before. There's like little fairs there in the main square, but this is the roundabout. Stood on the roundabout here. The clock doesn't work anymore. They've got preservation over it from 2014, so yes. And like I say, the car park, the main car park is just down here, as I'll just take you this way, just so you know exactly where it is. The main way in from Blackpool is down that road actually, and then you come down here. Again, another very busy shop. Like I say, there's an arcade right there. B&M's, this is the back of B&M's here. Kay's Fish and Chip Shop, again another very popular fish and chip shop of Cleveleys, very well known. It's been there since 1976, so they'll be celebrating 50 years in 6 years time, so a little way off. I did mention about transport as well. This is the bus station, so all the Blackpool buses come here, as well as some of the local buses. There's a couple of local buses set up in Blackpool and the Wire area, they come here as well. So this is your bus station, as you would know. A couple of buses don't actually come here, that come to Cleveleys. Some that actually go where the tram stop is, they pass by there. In fact, the tram stop's just down there again. And then this is the car park. If you want to know exactly where this car park is, type in Derby Road East or Derby Road West. And there's your parking charges. Really cheap car parking here. So if you want to be here all day, £3.50, or if you're a couple of hours, £2. And it's exactly the same over there. Both car parks are the same, and same rules as well. Well, there we go, back on the beach, and as you can see, the tide is coming in very quick. You can see where the sandbanks were, where the waves are forming just off the shore. And the weather has been beautiful today here in Cleveleys. If you in the Blackpool or on the Fylde coast region, do make a trip here. It's really easy to get to. There's so much to actually do, but while social distancing is in place, do remember to do that, because it gets proper crowded in Cleveleys. And there's still things to do for the family. 2 arcades here, one of them is actually open till 10 at night each evening. Winter, spring, summer or autumn, it's always open till 10 at the night, so you know, you can always bring your family here for the whole day out. But that's it. Thank you for joining us here in Cleveleys for another video of the area. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have creating the content, really. If you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel for more of these things. Like I said before, we might take you down the coast a bit further to Rossall and Fleetwood and maybe a bit beyond. But if you want some requests, do put them in the comments below, and also let us know in the comments if you've been here and if you've enjoyed the video too. Give us a big like just below if you've enjoyed this video, to let myself know and all the people who are watching know that you've enjoyed this too. And also follow us on our social. We do have Instagram, which is ptvlogs_UK, and Facebook as well, which is ptvlogsuk. Do follow us on our social media as we head back into Blackpool. The border is just over there. It's crazy how big Blackpool is and then how small Cleveleys is. It's incredible. But have a great week, whatever you're doing. Hope the weather stays like this as long as possible, and get out there but safely. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, take care, have a great week. See you later.